Most people think the Harry Potter movies just changed a few spells from the books. Those people are drooling troglodytes. The movies rewrote how magic works altogether, because in the books, spells follow strict rules, limits, skill, consequences. In the movies, almost all of that disappears and they just start doing whatever looks cool. Spells stop behaving like tools and start behaving like guns. Guns made of wooden sticks that shoot green energy, but guns all the same. And once you see the specific changes, you'll never look at the movie spells the same way ever again. The first changes don't look like a big deal. They're quick, clean, easy to miss. But when you really think about it, they take a massive dump on the rules established in the books. Take the Devil's Snare scene. In the book, Hermione uses the fire from the Bluebell Flames spell. It's simple, controlled, and it's something she already knows how to do. In the movie, she suddenly uses Lumus Salem. Never heard of it? That's because it doesn't exist anywhere else. Sure, it looks cool, but now magic isn't about using the right tool. It's about putting the VFX artists through hell and back. The same thing happens in the Quidditch match. In the book, Hermione uses Bluebell Flames again. You know, there's a joke to be made here about Hermione giving Ron bluebells, but I'm too much of a gentleman to make it. In the film, however, she says, Lacarnum inflammari.
Lacarnum inflammari.
Once again, some Hollywood malarkey thought up just for the movies. It works, but it's already changing the pattern. Because now, instead of spells being flexible, they're becoming hyper-specific named solutions for single problems. And it keeps happening. When Harry's glasses break in the book, Hermione uses Reparo, a general mending charm to fix them. In the film, however, she uses Oculus Reparo.
Oculus Reparo.
A spell that, judging by the word Oculus, can only be used specifically to fix glasses. Then, in the forest, we have Arania Exume.
Arania Exume!
A spell specifically for blasting spiders. Actually, come to think of it, I need that spell in real life. In the films, magic is reduced to a list of labeled buttons. If you'd like to create a magic flame, please press 1. For spiders, please press 2. If you need your glasses repaired, please press 3. If you'd like to talk to a live wizard, please stay on the line for our next available mage. It feels clearer, more organized, but something important is being lost. Because in the books, magic isn't about memorizing the perfect spell for every situation. It's about understanding how magic works and adapting it. The movies don't just simplify that, they replace it. And once that change happens, every spell that comes after starts following the wrong rules. Look at Expelliarmus. In the books, it does one thing. It disarms you. And not in the way Obi-Wan Kenobi disarmed Anakin Skywalker. With book Expelliarmus, your wand flies out of your hand. That's it. It's precise, controlled, and it tells you something about the person naming it. Namely, that they knew how to use Expelliarmus. Now watch it in the movies. It doesn't just disarm your foe. It blasts them backwards. Movie Expelliarmus straight up throws people clear across the room. Sometimes it doesn't even take the wand. At that point, it's not a disarming charm anymore. It's a slap someone in the face with magic so hard that they go flying through a wall charm. At that point, dropping your wand is just an inevitable side effect of being tossed around like a rag doll. And it gets worse. Ricta Sempra, the tickling charm. In the book, Malfoy doubles over laughing. He can barely breathe. In the movie, he gets launched backwards like he's been hit by a shockwave. Or, Expelliarmus.
Expelliarmus!
And then there's Stupefy. No, not the Disturbed song, although that is a banger. In the books, it's one option. A good one, but still just one tool. In the movies, it becomes the default. Every duel, every fight. So now you've got 3 completely different spells doing the same thing. And once that happens, something important disappears. Choice. Because in the books, choosing a spell matters. Each one has a purpose. Each one solves a different problem. In the movies, you can just cast whatever and assume it will knock your opponent on their butt. As long as pretty lights are shooting from the tip of your wand, Hollywood will be satisfied. And once every spell looks identical, you're not watching magic anymore. You're watching special effects. And when that happens, it usually means something deeper has already been removed. Because in the books, it's not enough to just know the spell. You have to actually be good with it. Progression, limits. And the films, Just drop trow and we all over that idea. Take nonverbal magic. In the books, this is advanced stuff. 6th year level stuff. Most students struggle with it. Even Chosen One, Golden Boy Harrius P. Otter, has had a hard time doing the magic thing with his gob shut. It's powerful because it's difficult. Consider nonverbal magic the Dark Souls of the wizarding world. But in the movies, everyone is doing it. Everywhere, all the time. There's no build-up, no explanation, just magic flying around all willy-nilly without a single word being spoken. And it's the same with wandless magic. In the books, zapping a baddie without your hexing stick is a big no-no. Not because it's forbidden, but because it's harder than sitting through all 3 Lord of the Rings extended editions without looking at your phone. We're talking top-tier wizards. Even Dumbledore still uses a wand most of the time. But in the movies, people are using their hands more than Handy McHanderson at a karate chopping competition. No effort, no consequence. Not even any cool board breaking. And then there's the Patronus. In the books, it's one of the hardest spells you can learn. It takes focus, emotion, practice. And most importantly, you have to pick a cool animal. You don't want to be that one guy facing Dementors with a naked mole rat because you didn't put much thought into it. Most adult wizards can't even produce a full corporeal one. In the movies, entire groups are casting fully formed Patronuses like it's a group exercise. A Patronus orgy, if you will. Instant success. And then there's a detail people miss completely. The trace. Underage magic is tracked by the Ministry. It's a big deal in the books. Harry gets in serious trouble for using magic outside school. But in the movies, he's casting spells in his bedroom at the start of Prisoner of Azkaban. And none of the Wizarding World's secret police show up to bring him to Wizard Guantanamo Bay or whatever. The rule just disappears. And when you step back, you see the pattern. Every limit is being removed. Every barrier is being lowered. Until eventually, there's no difference between a beginner wizard and a master spellslinger. And once that happens, even the most important spells in the story stop meaning what they're supposed to. Up to this point, you could argue that the movies just simplified things, which is nothing new when it comes to adapting books for the silver screen. In the novel Jaws, for instance, the title character is an MIT-trained physicist turned CIA assassin, but in the movie, it's just a shark. But there's a difference between simplifying something, making it easier to follow, and outright changing it completely. Look at Avada Kedavra. In the books, it's almost unsettling in how ordinary it is. Green flash, instant death, no muss, no fuss, no damage, no spectacle. Just a body hitting the ground. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Oh, sorry, I got a little carried away. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Avada Kedavra isn't much to write home about in the books. And that's the point. It's meant to show that even the most powerful dark wizard dies like anyone else. Now look at the movies. Voldemort literally breaks apart and drifts away when hit by the big AK. It looks dramatic, I'll grant you that. But it removes the entire meaning behind a spell that just kills. Period. Then there's Protego. In the books, it's invisible. You don't see it coming. A spell just stops midair. That's what makes it powerful. In the movies, it's a glowing force field, a visible barrier, something you can track, aim at, overwhelm, toss small rocks at, poke with a stick, etc. I mean, it turns defense into something physical, predictable. And let's not forget Crucio. In the books, there's a rule. You have to mean it.
You've got to mean it, Harry.
Like you have to really want to cause someone unspeakable pain. That's why Harry fails the first time he uses it. Mr. Goody-Two-Shoes, rainbows, and lollipops doesn't enjoy mercilessly torturing his enemies. Wuss. In the movies, it's like telling a hookup you love them. You don't have to mean it, and you'll still get what you want. The spell works because it works, not because the caster has any particular ill will toward their target. And then there's Sectum Sempra. In the books, it's brutal. Invisible slashes, blood everywhere. It's like getting filleted by the predator when he still has his cloak on. It's shocking and erotic. Gross. Shocking and gross. In the film, it's toned down. Safer. Less blood, less disturbing, and much less arousing. And once again, the impact changes. Because these spells weren't just effects. They carried meaning. They told you something about power, about intent, about consequence. The movies keep the names, sure, but that's pretty much all they keep while completely changing what those names represent. And once that happens, the rules aren't just gone. They're being replaced in real time. And then, the movies just break the rules completely. Perhaps the most egregious example is something called priori incantatem. In the books, this is rare. Like, once in a lifetime rare. It only happens when two wands share the same core and then clash, forcing the losing wand to regurgitate the caster's last spell, but like in reverse. That's why Harry survives in the graveyard. It's not just luck. It's a unique 1 in a million interaction that can't be repeated. Now go watch the movies. You'll see wands connecting constantly, beams locking together in a magical game of tug-of-war. Energy pushes back and forth. It looks fantastic, but it's not supposed to be happening. That's not how magic works. What was once a one-off phenomenon becomes the default way Harry and Voldemort duel anytime they lock wands in combat. And that creates a bigger problem, because now it looks like any spell can be resisted through sheer force of will, even ones that shouldn't be. Remember Avada Kedavra? Of course you do. I was just talking about it like 10 seconds ago. In the books, it's unblockable. No shield charm stops it. You either jump out of the way, or physically block it with like a mirror or another wizard. That's the only way to avoid instant deathification. But in the movies, it gets caught, pushed back, held in places like some kind of Dragon Ball Z beam clash. Actually, Harry as Goku and Voldemort as Vegeta would be hilarious. Okay, somebody please make that. But seriously, it gets so bad that the most dangerous curse in the entire Harry Potter saga stops feeling dangerous. It just becomes another colorful beam of light. You see it again in the big battles. Dozens of spells flying around, looking the same, behaving the same. No variety, no hierarchy, no consequences. And this is the real shift. Magic stops being a system and turns into a visual language. Red versus green, light versus dark, shirts versus skins, cats versus dogs, brother against brother. Okay, you got the picture. Simple, clean, easy to follow, but completely detached from how it's supposed to work. Nowhere is this worse than during the final duel between Harry and Voldy. You know, the one battle where the rules really matter. In the books, Harry doesn't defeat Voldemort by being more powerful. He beats him by being smarter. He uses Expelliarmus, not to overpower Voldemort, but to disarm him. And that choice is everything. Because Voldemort uses Avada Kedavra, kill versus disarm. The fundamental difference between good and evil distilled perfectly in that one moment. And it only works because of the rules. The Elder Wand doesn't belong to Voldemort, and Harry knows that. But more importantly, Voldemort doesn't know that Harry knows. So when the spells connect, Harry only survives because of a technicality. And everyone knows that a technical victory is the best kind of victory. The Elder Wand refuses to kill its true master, and instead, Voldemort's curse rebounds and old No-Nose bites the big one. No explosion, no spectacle, just a body on the ground. Despite all his dark sorcery, his scheming and plotting to achieve eternal life, Voldemort turns out to be just as mortal as everyone else. Now, look at the movie. They fly around, they clash midair, they merge into each other. The fight is bigger, more exciting, but with all internal logic removed. Because now it feels like Harry wins by overpowering Voldemort, not by outthinking him. And then Voldemort dies, but not like a normal person, like something unnatural. He breaks apart, disappears, turns to dust, and in that moment, the entire message changes. Because the story was never about defeating a monster. It was about proving he wasn't one. The movies keep the ending, but they strip out what made it work. So, if someone tells you the movies just changed a few spells, you look that person in the eye and calmly but sternly tell them they're a simpering monkey licker with a brain smoother than a freshly shaven hamster and twice as small. Then you tell them everything you learned in this video about how much the Harry Potter movies messed up the entire concept of how magic works in the wizarding world. And then you grab yourself a cold Diet Coke and a snack-sized bag of Sun Chips because you earned it. And then after you finish your snack, come back here and watch every future family tree in Harry Potter explained. Why? Because I said so. That's why.